Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Adams Rite number 4901-17-121. I have one removed here from the packaging, as you can see here. This is a strike, obviously, that's used for more than just one type or model number of Adams Rite locks. It's a relatively unusual strike in the sense that it's intended for a particular jamb depth with a particular sort of hung or hang or hanging method, I should say, on the door and frame. 4-inch jamb depth. Okay. It's not handed, it's reversible. That would account for the two preparations that are here, and one of the two you'll blank out, and we'll go over that in a moment. Let's go over some dimensional properties, then we're going to dissect the part number and see what the entire item means. Overall height, about 4 5/8, thereabouts. Overall width of the strike, about 2 7/8. The dimension from the center line of the screw holes to the edge of the lip, that is about 2 5/16, I would say. Okay, so the 4901-17-121 all conspire to mean this. Also, what's included in the packaging is a dust box, but it's a multi-purpose gizmo in that you will inherently blank out one of the holes when you insert that, allowing the dust box to operate in the other hole. Okay, so that will give you a cleaned off look and installation. Not wanting to snap that in permanently for the client. Yeah, we won't do that because I don't want to snap it in permanently. But you can kind of get the idea there, I hope. If I were to push that in past, I don't want to run the risk of cracking the dust box because I don't obviously know the hand of the strike. Also, what you're going to get is the mounting bracket. So the mounting bracket will, when you prep the frame itself, okay, is going to allow you to attach the bracket to the jamb, and then the strike will attach to the bracket. And in the spirit of attaching things, screws are included. You'll need 2 for the frame to hold the mounting bracket on, and then 2 to hold the strike to that mounting bracket. Okay, so that's all included. So let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at the supporting documentation. Okay, so here is the item that we are looking at. Not much to see here, but there is a link below this video to the cut sheet, and that allows us to review the 2-page cut sheet that we have here. Remember, we've got a 4901-17-121. So 4901, a double strike principle. You can see a little bit better how that dust box both acts as a dust box and then blanks out the unused hole. Designed for use in conjunction with the 43, 45, 47, and 4900 series. Deadlatches. A backup mounting plate is included with the 4901. And the single hole 4902. Accommodates your standard 1/2-inch latch bolts or the 5/8 wide latch bolt on the more robust 4900 series. Okay, so we have the 4901, flat, flush-mounted strike, standard slat strike. I'm not sure what the term slat stands for. Includes molded black plastic dust box and closure of the unused lower strike opening hole with steel mounting plate. Long face is designed to span area of the MS deadlock, with which the deadlatch is interchangeable. So what they're saying here is, if you were, and it's pretty common actually, if you were to changing from a deadlock or a deadbolt to a latch, you're going to have in the deadbolt a longer prep in the frame because that's what that bolt requires, because the way that the bolt articulates out of the housing. Well, if you're converting to a latch because you don't want a bolt, or you're converting to a latch because you can't have a bolt, like you're going from a deadbolt to an exit device. I just did this for a client. They had a path of emergency egress, and the inspector required, of course, that the bolt be removed and replaced, so we went with a Deadlatch body. And, of course, an Adams Rite exit device. But if you were doing that, you know, you're going to need to think about the strike as well. Long face is designed to span that strike area of that MS deadlock, is what they're driving at. There's an O2 model, which is a radius strike. If you're using it in a pair of doors and you have a radiused edge, that's what the O2 looks like. Now the O1 is flat, but there are dimensional properties down here. We're doing an unusual version of this because we have a center hung door, and that's what the 17 means. So 4901 is the long strike. We don't have a standard lip here because we're doing the 17, which is for a 4-inch wide jamb, on a center hung application. Okay? And then your finish, 121, which is a dark bronze. Now back to the center hung application. You could very easily have an application like this. Okay, you have a door in a frame, and it is, that represents the vertical axis of pivoting. That it's center hung in the sense that the vertical axis of pivoting is down in the center of the door. Now you can have it where it is inset like it is here. You can have a center hung where the door is out here as well. Doesn't really matter where that's located. That can be done. But the 17 is specifically is a specific derivative where they're telling us that it is for a 4-inch wide jamb, and dimension A is 2-inch. Dimension A is here somewhere. Here it is. Dimension A, from the edge of the lip to the center line of the hole. So in our dash 17, you are literally going to have your strike like this, so that your latch bolt can make contact like that. And that dimension from here to here is 2-inch, and it goes to conclude that the jamb depth is 4-inch. So an unusual derivative application of this, but not unheard of. These doors are going to be single acting, there's no doubt. Because the latch wouldn't really work otherwise. So that's what this 17 is used for. And you can see from the catalog, there are different derivatives of it as well, in the sense of different jamb depths, so that that dimension A stays in alignment with what you're doing. Okay, so from 2 1/4 to 4 1/2, it appears to be in 1/4-inch increments, is what it is. Okay, the standard is just going to be the O1 for a single door. The O2 will be standard for a pair of doors, assuming they're radiused. But if you're doing a single that is in a center hung application, you need to think about what dimension A do you require. Ultimately, the face of the jamb to where the center line of the latch preparation needs to be. Dimension A less 11/32 will give you that dimension. So you can measure from your frame and determine, what do I need the dimension from here to the center line here to be. Okay, you can take that dimension, add 11/32, go to your chart and pull the part number. And there you go. So pretty simple and straightforward. Now, there's a link below this video, and obviously, forgive me, before we wrap this up, dimensional properties here showing what preparation you would need to do for the O1 strike here, the O2. They're also telling you where to prep those holes to hold the mounting reinforcing plate onto. Okay. Now the link here below this video to the manufacturer's page, that's going to allow you to review not only all of the Adams Rite products that we sell by means of this navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog and other encyclopedic documents that we keep here as well. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, it's not, frankly, a common strike to sell, but when you sell them, you either sell them infrequently or a whole mess at a time, and this client needed 5. So there you go. Okay. The name Adams Rite is quite synonymous with aluminum storefront hardware, and if you know their name, it's probably because of that product group itself. Latches, bolts, of a tremendous different variety of that material. But you may also know them for other things that they make, like electric strikes, exit devices, and then a variety of other hardware that seems to not fit into a single category very well, such as electronic locks for glass doors, or petite small lock bodies for sliding door applications. You know, they have this neat, unique line of products that no one else has. For instance, if you want to lock a custom wrought iron gate that you've built and it happens to slide or swing or whatever it is, they have what they call bottom rail deadbolts. Did a project for a client where they were doing gates for the High Line. The High Line, if you don't know what that is, look that up. It's in New York, specifically Manhattan, and it's reclaimed elevated railroad structure, and they've turned it into an epic green space where there are, I don't know if it's measured in miles or thousands of yards, but it's a very beautiful green space that the city can retreat to. And this client was building some custom gates for the High Line, and Adams Rite, bottom rail deadbolts were perfect because they were able to give us the throw that we needed. They were able to tolerate the 3-inch thickness, and it worked out really well. So the point is Adams Rite comes into mind when you need a weird piece of hardware. It just isn't, it's not coming to you where to get it from, and diving into their catalog, especially if you stay open-minded about how you might be able to modify the application or even the hardware in some instances. Their catalog is incredibly helpful. What's also helpful from them is their technical support department. They respond 100% of the time, 100% of the time, and I say thank you to them. If you have any questions on this 4901 and a -17 and a 121 finish or any other Adams Rite product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.